steel cage match. Making his way to the ring, residing in Hana, weighing in at 221 pounds, The Miz.
Go ahead, Corey. Tell us all about The Miz.
The Miz is the man who single-handedly turned SmackDown from the B show to the show. A star of stage, screen, reality television. Is there anything The Miz hasn't done?
Did The Miz pay you to say all that, Corey?
Absolutely not, Byron Saxton. I happen to be a hopeful for consideration for a Mizzy this year.
Really?
That's right.
Mizzy? Oh, come on. That would be awesome, Corey. That would be ridiculous. Where would you put it?
On my mantle with my most prized possessions.
Why are you encouraging him, Michael? I would love to have a Mizzy. You guys are weird. Here comes the commish! Shane O'Mac!
And his opponent, from New York City, weighing in at 235 pounds, Shane McMahon.
I wonder whose life and career Shane's here to make miserable tonight.
Oh, don't start, Corey.
Commissioner Hothead is out of his mind. Completely unlikable. You know, guys, I talked to some of the members of the Mean Street Posse. They don't want anything to do with Shane O'Mac anymore because he's such an egomaniac.
There's a lot of pride on the line between these two athletes tonight. Two of the proudest athletes we have ever seen in WWE.
And there are few things more unforgiving than the cold steel of a cage match.
What a stomp! Good grief! This might be it! Oh my, harsh impact!
The rivalry between Ultimate Warrior and Ravishing Rick Rude began during the Super Pose Down at the 1989 Royal Rumble. Then it progressed to where both superstars battled over the Intercontinental Championship. At SummerSlam 90, the rivals met inside a 15-foot-high steel cage for the WWE Championship. Victory could be achieved by pinfall or escape from the cage.
Corey, the WWE Championship match between the Ultimate Warrior and Ravishing Rick Rude was the second half of the double main event at 1990 SummerSlam. The rivalry between the Warrior and the Ravishing One was so heated that no one knew what to expect once the two men were able to battle inside a steel cage, which at the time was the most grueling match in all of WWE.
The Ultimate Warrior dominated early on with his incredible strength. Rick Rude turned the tables and used the steel surroundings to his advantage. At one point, Rude dove from the top of the cage onto the Warrior. But after the Warrior's signature Gorilla Press Slam, the Ultimate One climbed over the cage and retained his WWE Championship.
There's a certain feeling that comes over the combatants in the steel cage match once they hear the door close and see the official lock it. A superstar must know that their body is going to be thrown against the steel, that their face will most likely be raked across the cage, and that anything is legal in this environment. Great effort, but he'd better save something for later in the match.
You spoke about this earlier, Corey. It's crucial. For a WWE superstar.
Big slam.
This just might be enough for him to take the victory here. A trip to the local medical facility might be in order after that.
Great job escaping, trying to turn this thing around.
Oh boy, he is rolling.
And that one grounds him.
I didn't realize he had such a glass jaw.
Nice.
Of
According to historians, the twisted metal that we see as part of steel cages today dates back 80 years. To settle a dispute between competitors Jack Bloomfield and Count Pietro Rossi, the two met inside a ring surrounded by chicken wire. At first, these types of matches were referred to as fence matches.
Corey, you gave us an impressive history of the origins of the steel cage match. I'd like to point out to our viewers that from the 1960s to the mid-1980s, chain link fences were used to enclose the ring for WWE steel cage matches. A superstar could win by pinfall submission or by exiting the cage through the cage door or climbing over the top of the cage.
We should also point out, Michael, that the way to win a steel cage match can vary by match depending on what was agreed to before contracts to compete in the match were signed. Talking about history, at WrestleMania 2, WWE unveiled the redesigned steel cage with solid steel blue bars before returning to chain link mesh in the late 1990s.
Not now. Not now. No. It is no time for...
The steel cage is a massive enclosure that stands 15 feet in height. For almost 35 years, a select group of high flyers have taken their aerial assaults to greater heights. And when I say that, I mean superstar...
A second time. To your point earlier, Byron, we've definitely seen some unbelievable attack.
That'll hurt. DDT.
Shane absorbing a lot of punishment here.
Momentum is fully in the corner of The Miz now.
Figure four leg lock. Shane absorbing a lot of punishment here. Locked in. This one is over. Shane McMahon got the worst end of that stick.
You really have to keep your head on a swivel against The Miz. Corey,
not now. Not now. No. It is no time for... Ooh, what a jawbreaker. Ooh, what a jawbreaker.
Corey, I'm going to go back to your comment about Miz's outside help for a minute. I think that any opponent needs multiple strategies given the variety of backup Miz could bring to ringside.
Not now. Not now. No. It is no...
That's a combination. Bam!
But I don't know how much gas he has left, guys.
Hard not to be impressed by that combination.
That should do it right there. He's a long way from a 3 count, I can tell you that.
Not yet.
The Miz was able to get out of the way there.
The skull-crushing finale is such a great way to humiliate and beat an opponent at the same time. It's really the perfect finishing maneuver for such a revered champion like The Miz.
You gotta believe this one's over.
Once The Miz locks his hands behind an opponent's head in the full Nelson position, you know what's coming next. When the Awesome One drops a challenger with a skull-crushing finale, this one's for good measure. He's making a statement here with this attack. Man, what a slam.
Just when you thought he had nothing left. The best way to describe combatants clashing inside a steel cage is its battle of attrition. Sometimes he survived the cage.
I can't believe what we just witnessed. Steel cage matches.
Here is your winner,